Hello Players Network shareholders, Mark Bradley here. I wanted to do a quick video update to talk about the press release that came out this week and also address a lot of concerned shareholders' question of why with such good news the stock's going down. And also a lot of people don't quite understand the deal, so I'm here to kind of debug everything the best I can. We announced this week that we are creating GLFI as a separate private company, no different than Greenleaf Farms Holdings in North Las Vegas is a private company. We're doing this as means to fund the vehicle without diluting PNTV's interest. Now, we specifically earmarked 400 acres for this deal. Keep in mind, we have a 33,000 acre ranch. At a 33,000 acre ranch, about 12,000 of the acres is usable right now today, irrigated. Our plan is really 10,000 on the property over the next 3 to 5 years. So let's just use the 10,000 number. 400 acres of the 10,000 is only 4% of our entire property. We did not sell our property. We did not get rid of an asset. We did a management contract that allows GLFI to operate in an international marketplace and have the opportunity to go on a NASDAQ board and do the same thing that these Canadian companies are doing. These Canadian companies are trading for billions of dollars. The U.S. companies aren't doing that because a U.S. company cannot go on a national stock exchange as a marijuana license holder. It's federally illegal. Well, it's only legal in the States. So in essence, what we're doing is positioning this to bring massive value to Players Network without diluting it. So I'm going to give you an idea of the structure that we created. We're going to have new preferred shareholders coming in that are going to be buying stock in a public company. Keep in mind, they're not going to be able to sell this stock for a year and a half to 2 years till we're actually listed on the NASDAQ. So what we did is we're offering a preferred payback. And the terms of the preferred payback is going to come out in roughly within a few weeks of what the actual terms of the offering is. But in essence, PNTV is going to own the majority of Greenleaf Farms International. Right now we own 100% of it. Once we start selling stock, we're going to be diluted down. But I think we've raised about $25 million. We're still going to end up owning around 70% of the company. In addition to that, we also are getting 50% of the net revenues. So if you take 50%, you put it together at 70%, we're really have 85% of the company is still ours of only 400 acres, only 4% of our entire property. So this is a massive windfall. The people that helped me design it are brilliant businessmen, attorneys, accountants. We calculated how to bring value to Players Network shareholders without diluting the stock. This is what you need to understand. Okay, with such good news, why did our stock go down? Well, this is really simple. I don't know why it went up. And the reason, and I believe what happened is that we had a group of people accumulate a lot of shares of stock, create a market for it, and then sell against it and pull out their profit. It's done all the time in penny stocks, and there's nothing the company can do to stop people from buying stock and stop people from selling stock. To kind of prove out the model to see if that's really what happened, we ordered what's called a NOBU report. There's two lists called a NOBU and an OBU. A NOBU is actually a position report, lists all of our shareholders, how many shares they have. John Doe has 4 million shares. Jane Rice has 200,000 shares. It goes from top to bottom, and there's roughly 8,600 people on that list. The OBU list is Merrill Lynch, is Ameritrade, E-Trade, Scottrade is listing the institutions. So what we do is we compare a prior list. In this case, we pulled one about 2.5 months ago to a new list that we pulled just a few days ago and received yesterday. And you compare those lists side by side, you can line up the shareholders and say, okay, John Doe had 4 million shares 2.5 months ago, and now he has 4.5 million shares, or someone has less. So what we did is we analyzed the top 100 shareholders' position because the top 100 shareholders own probably about 65% of all the outstanding shares. So it's easy to tell if a big shareholder dropped a position or added a position. What we found out of the top 100 less than 6 people actually had less shares. Everybody had the same amount of shares or increased the shares. So where did all this stock come from? Well, what we believe now, because it was not our own shareholders selling the stock, we believe that it was just a major shorting happening, because what happened when we put out the press release saying this value that was going to come to PNTV, and then all of a sudden on all the boards, you started seeing all these negative things. Players Network sold Greenleaf Farms, they're doing this, they're doing that, blah, 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 blah. Well, you realize that these companies like iHub and Raging Bull, they're owned by hedge funds, they're owned by people that short stocks. That's what you have to realize, that half of the people on there making comments are not real shareholders. They're people that are paid bashers. So, and it's unfortunate that they manipulate everybody into buying and selling stock. In this case, they realized that this massive value that we're bringing to PNTV without diluting the stock whatsoever, will make the stock go up once people understand what's going on. And now they're shorting against it and driving it down so they could buy that cheap stock back and cover themselves, around a few pennies a share, opposed to trying to cover themselves around 10 or 15 or 20 cents a share. I mean, the stock can go up very high in this deal. Once we get a couple quarters of revenue out of Huhui, we're talking about multi-million dollars of revenue, which is just going to do great for us. So that's how we analyzed it. Nothing I'm saying is gospel 100%. We're only analyzing it and talking to other smart people that are analyzing it and utilizing the tools that we have available. The best thing you do to stop shorters from shorting is just don't sell them your stock. Hold on to your stock. If you're in a position to buy more, buy more. The stock is cheap right now. But you have to make those decisions on your own. We're not going to make you for you. We can only tell you that the company is doing fantastic. We have seeds sprouting in Huhui. There's tons of infrastructure going down there, and it's just fantastic. I mean, I'm extremely happy with the progress right now. There's also a couple other big developments that'll be announced over the next few weeks that are just fantastic. So I hope everybody maintains a shareholder. I hope this helped explain some of the issues. Please share this video with anybody that you wish. And please don't hesitate to continue to send your emails and your questions. We always answer them. Dave Kleppinger will answer them, or myself personally, or Brett Pajunas. We're going to have a live webinar also in the next week or so, Brett and myself, and we're going to answer any questions that you guys have directly, live, uncensored, like we always do. We haven't done it in a little while, but we're going to start doing it again. I think it's time. This is a really good milestone right now to keep everybody in tune. So thank you for your time, and until next time, thank you for being a shareholder.